Hello and welcome to this video. My name's Gordon and this is G17 Collectibles. This is the first of the Build Your Own Robocop series from Fanhome, which was the Agostini. In this pack we have assembly stages 1 and 2, and I'm going to walk you through what parts come with each stage. We'll have a look at the quality and what we are going to expect from Fanhome, and then we'll put the relevant parts together. So this is magazine number 1. You can see it only comprises of around about maybe 10 to 12 pages, and it gives you some detail behind Robocop, etc. But mainly what this contains is the various build details and stages. In assembly stage 1, we're going to put together what is Robocop's helmet and lower jaw portion. So if we move this out the way, and we'll bring in the parts for assembly stage 1, you can see we've got various components to try and put together today, as well as the little included screwdriver and 2 packs of screws. So here we go, here's all the components for assembly stage 1 laid out, including the first couple of steps for the magazine. Now, most of these components on the table are plastic ABS, so you can see half of the face or head shell there, some neck pieces. This piece here is plastic, the side helmet ear caps are plastic, and the 2 metal components that we'll 2 or 3 metal components we have is these 2 parts here, which appear to be magnetic, and the actual helmet itself. Now the helmet does have some weight because it is die cast metal. It is quite sizable. You can already tell, once you've got the head on there, that this is going to be quite a large piece. Paint application wise though, I'll try and hold that up to the camera so you can see. The detail is quite crisp. You do have the OCP Police 001 embossed or engraved in the side of the helmet. The cast is pretty clean, it's nice and sharp. Paint application wise though, it is a flat silver with an almost buffed finish. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to follow the instructions and start assembling the various parts. So in this step, we have to make the headpiece by taking 2 halves and selecting these components here and positioning these in, closing the 2 halves together with these centralised pieces in the middle, and then 4 AP screws to put it all together. So we'll start with 1 half of the head. We'll take this neck collar section and place that into the groove at the bottom of the headpiece. We'll take this piece, making sure that the bump on the top of that faces up, and slot that in. And we'll take this magnetic plate and we'll slot that into the top section there. Now what we have to do is take this other half and marry that up, ensuring all the parts line up properly and correctly. All that's left for me to do is put 4 screws, AP screws, into here to secure it up. Now although it comes with a screwdriver, I prefer to use my own. So I have a Phillips head screwdriver here, and I'll simply select a screw and be careful not to over tighten. You just want to pinch it and no more, just till we've got that gap closed. Take another AP screw. Again, taking care not to over tighten by too much, just until we feel it going tight. And 2 in the back. The good thing is with these screwdrivers is they do have a magnetic tip. So that allows you to pick up a small screw, position it properly, and then place it in the correct part. So that's it for the very first step or stage. I can now look at step 2. And step 2 is simply taking the plastic earpieces here and screwing them via a QP screw onto the side of this helmet. They do have little keyways, so you've got a position there, so you can't really get this too wrong. All I've done there is put it on top and roll it around until I feel the keyway engaging. Then I'm going to take a QP screw, which are got a wider head and a slightly shorter thread, and screw these in. Again, although you're screwing through metal, you are making contact with the plastic piece, so you want to be careful not to over tighten. Same again, put it on there, rotate with my finger until I hear it click in, and then take another QP screw and put one on the other side. And there we are. Step 3 is to attach the magnet holder to the inside of the helmet. So here we have an arrow that points to the back, and this piece is the magnet holder with an arrow which should also point in the same direction. This is then turned upside down, and you can see there's 2 raised holes there for the screws to go into, and that should orientate very nicely on top of those 2 little raised screw holes. We're then going to take the supplied EM screws this time, and we're going to secure the magnet holder to the top of the helmet using 1 in each corner. Now, though we're driving this into metal, I'm taking care again not to fully over tighten these screws. And again, just take another EM screw, place that into the other corner. And there we go. Be slightly loose, so tighten that corner up as well. There we go, solid. We then take the actual magnet and we place the magnet inside of the magnet holder like so, which is then secured using an AP screw. This could be tricky because it's magnetized. So we'll put the screw in first, and I shall then put that in play and tighten. There we go. So there you can see the magnet is connected to the magnet holder and is inside the top of the helmet. The next step is asking us to take what will become the black visor for the helmet and put that into the inside of the helmet like so. So this should be a case of just simply slotting that in play. And you can see from the front there, that's quite a nice finish. No screws required, no glue, it literally just slides in to the little raised metal brackets that are in there. And then all that's left is to connect the helmet with the head, which should snap into place using the magnets. And that's it for assembly stage 1. Okay, so assembly stage 2. And again, more detail on Robocop. and the assembly instructions, which looks like either the left or right foot, is assembly stage 2. So there's your component parts, and we have a number of instructions to follow. If I move this out of the way, these are the component parts which have been delivered. We have foot base plate, top plate, the toe plates, a ball joint, a spring, a piston, and some screws. So let's get these parts out on the table and take a closer look. So here are the components for assembly stage 2 laid out from the box. It does appear to be the right foot, and I'm happy to report that the main components of the right foot are all metal. So you have the sole plate, which is metal, the upper portion of the foot, which is metal, toe plate metal, upper toe section metal, this collar section is metal, this ball joint piece is metal as well. This is a little metal doodah, and these are the only plastic component pieces here, as well as what I believe to be a metal piston. So encouraging that we've got what looks like a completely metal foot. So let's now get all of this assembled to complete stage 2. So the first part of the foot that we're going to need is the main central part here. We also need this little metal doodah and the piston, as well as 2 AM screws. And it looks like we take the piston itself, and it's got 2 ends on it. It has one with a thicker top on it and a thinner bottom. We take the thinner end and we put the thinner end inside of that hole there, and we're then going to put that by 2 screws into here, as far as I can understand. And then we're also going to locate a screw through there to secure that piston in play. So I'm going to do that first. Take an AM screw, thread that through that hole there, and then take the piston, line that up, and drive that home. And that's a bit fiddly because you really need to have a good grip on the piston so it doesn't roll round. There you go, that's that secured. And then we'll take that and we'll line that up with the 2 holes here. We'll take an AM screw and we will drive that into one side. I'm not going to fully tighten that just yet. And I lost a screw there. And then put one into the other side. And again, not going to fully tighten. I will tighten once I've got everything complete. So that's the first stage done. Then it looks like we're going to construct the ball joint. So we'll take the same piece. We'll then take the metal ball joint piece, and if we're doing this like that, we thread that through, and we're going to take the smaller cap, place it on top, the larger cap, and place that on top of the smaller cap. And then we'll take the securing cap and place that on top. See if I can line that up properly. It's not lining up just right, so I wonder if there's a trick to it. Repeat that process. Take small cap, the larger cap, which is fiddly. Small cap, larger cap, and then the ball joint cap, which looks the same on all sides. And then we'll screw that in with 4 CM screws. So there we have it. Finally managed to get that ball socket cover on and all screws tightened up. The next step is now to connect the toe section with the main body, which I believe is, or not the toe section rather, it's more the section between the toe and the main foot. And we do that with a little CM screw. So put that in with a single screw and tighten. And then we're going to take the actual toe section and we're going to, quite a clever wee design here, connect this spring with 2 screws that'll hook from here to here, allowing some articulation in the toes. So there we go, I've already put a screw into here and connected that to the spring. I've then put a second screw in this section, and all I then need to do, hopefully, is to connect the spring up to that screw there and tighten. So this could be easier said than done, but I'm going to try and do it like that if possible. There we go, and then I'll just need to tighten these screws up to keep the spring in place. So there we go, I have now connected 2 CM screws with the spring in between, and what that provides us with is some nice toe articulation via a spring. There we go. In the last step, all we have to do is place the foot plate and the toe plate on, securing all with CM screws. So there we have it, one completed right foot. I've tightened everything up, so I've got a nice tight joint on the ankle to foot connection, nice tight connection on the piston, and we have quite a nice action with that spring on the toes. So overall, I mean, that's a fully metal foot and there is some weight to it. So that is us complete with assembly stage 2. If we add that to assembly stage 1, you can see that colour-wise, yep, flat silver. At the moment, mostly metal, so that is a fantastic start. And overall, I'm really pleased with how it's looking. Details nice and sharp, weighty, metal, yeah. So onwards and upwards, looking forward to the next set of assembly stages. Thanks for checking the video out, hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.